What's up, guys? Car Channel's back. I feel like I'm making content quicker for the car than I am for the tech channel. You know, Jay's hobby of the month. I'm actually gonna have a hand this time. You guys always see me in his videos, oh, that's Jay's 2 cents. Now they're gonna be like, that's Matt with Lethal Garage. Link to his channel will be down below. He's actually the one that's responsible for everything that I did to that car over there.
I'm gonna pretend I made you get this faster.
No, your build and what Mike's doing to his car now all contributed to, like, I want to do one. I went straight to one that drives.
True. And it makes me jealous every moment he texts, calls, or posts content.
You saw that whole arm out the window, dude. I'm getting driver's.
Yeah, no,
I'm getting driver's tan, man.
He totally had so I'm following behind him on the way back from my house, and Jay is in full relax. I'm like. Every moment following him, I'm like, I hate you because I want to drive my car right now.
How many times did you see the whole, I'm like, hey, hey, because it's always like, beep, beep.
Oh, dude, he
beep,
got
beep.
stopped on the way right over here. Guy on a bike stops in the middle of the street.
Bicycle.
Bicycle,
yeah.
Yes, sorry. And literally is like, I don't know what he asked you, but I'm like, he's all,
man, he's all, what year is that? I'm all 67. He's like, it looks fast. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. He's like, man, that's a cool car. And I'm like, thanks. And lights turning green, and he's like, oh. So I'm like, you might want to get out of the road.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
I watched a video that basically was a guy selling his 68. And he was like, I'm not going to miss this car. And I was like, uh-oh, what kind of pile of problems is this car? And he was like, it's all the attention. He's like, I'm tired of every damn old man wanting to tell me how he had one in high school. It's already happened a bunch.
It's true.
The best part is because that's the gas cap. And because of the angle that it's at, and modern fuel nozzles push fuel in way faster than I think they did in the 60s, I have to get down and squat real low, and I'm putting gas in. So some guy's always coming in as I'm holding a paper towel here to catch the fuel that will drip. And I've got the thing, and I'm all two-handed, and a guy wants to talk to me about the car, and I'm all like down here in this awkward position. That happens every time I get gas now. Let's face it, you don't get a car like this if you aren't willing to accept the attention it's gonna get. And you guys all call me an attention whore anyway, so it's fine. Here's what we're doing today. Caltrax traction bars, along with Calvert suspension, rear split monoleaf spring, and getting that hodgepodge crap out of there. So we're under the car. One of the things we're gonna be doing, this is the worst position for me to pick to try and talk to a camera, I think. So one of the things we're gonna be doing, this is the Hotchkiss plate for the bottom of the spring plate, whatever, perch, mount thing. It mounts to the perch, yeah, that's it. This has multiple holes here to be able to put like a sway bar and such on there. Multiple positions even for shocks. We're gonna be getting rid of that because the Caltrax system has its own mount. Looks like it might even have a sway bar mount, but I don't know if I'm gonna run a sway bar in the back. So we've got the wheels off, we cleaned up the shocks and stuff. I'm just waiting for Phil. I asked Phil to come over. It'd be a lot easier to do this with someone else working the camera. Not to mention, what the hell else do I pay him a salary for? He can work on Sunday, it's fine. Some plans for the rear though. We're gonna be doing a drum conversion to a disc rear. We're gonna be changing out this fuel tank. As you can see, it's all dented. Because all right, let's have real talk here for a sec. Matt can be a part of this. I really want to do carbureted, but at the same time, I really like the idea of going old school meets new school with a Holley EFI system. So you pop the hood, it looks like a carbureted car. It's more like a throttle body injection at that point. But you can still go in and do easy adjustments and tuning, and it's kind of like I could geek out with the computer aspect of the car without it being a full-on like modern LS7 like you'd find in a what was it, a Z06 Grand Sport, or his Grand Sport had it too, right? Oh, a Z28 had the same motor. So I'm really torn on that. And we were talking about that today when I was at Mike's house when he was tuning the carb for me, which the car runs way better now, by the way. Like, I wouldn't say faster, but it definitely runs better. So I'm torn on that. And the reason why I even brought that up is because we're gonna change out this fuel tank because of all these dents and stuff. The fuel tank I go with is gonna be dependent on what kind of fuel system I'm running. So if I'm going EFI, we need in-tank fuel pumps and a return system. But I'll tell you this, we kind of reversed our plans today. All along I've been telling Mike, build me an engine, build me an engine, build me an engine. But we know we need a better rear end in this. It's a GM12 bolt, but it's 308 gears. Even though it's positive traction, it's 308 gears. So next weekend though, we'll be taking this camera to Mike, Red Barn Racing's house, and we'll be taking this differential apart. Today we ordered the new carrier unit, the new ring and pinion, the rebuild kit, the new diff cover, and we're gonna be cleaning up this rear end because it's all kind of grody. It's not corroded, but it's grody. We'll be waking up the car a little bit by putting in 390s. Then we're gonna build a transmission for it. We'll talk about that in another video because I don't even want to open the can of worms of the transmission I want to go with and the way we're going to build it. I said that in the first video and I'm still not going to tell you guys what we're doing yet. Then we're going to build the engine. So going from front to rear, now we're going rear to front, which I think makes more sense. What we have to pick now, nuts in or nuts out?
Nuts out, right?
All right, you heard it.
Always have your nuts out.
So I guess we have to start, obviously, now that we have it laid out, we kind of figure out how it goes.
Where do you want me, Jay? I feel like that light just took my role.
You're no longer the light in Jay's life.
Oh.
Right, okay, so
You don't have to make it so abundantly clear.
apparently in these old American cars, you only need 3 wrench sizes.
Yes, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 9/16. That will get you about everything. And a Phillips head.
And if you're wondering why Matt, I keep calling Matt Mike and Mike Matt. Can you just be like Dave and John so they're way different? The reason why you should also go and check out his channel is he is completely restoring, literally, from a shell of a car, a 1971 second-gen Camaro split bumper.
Don't ever do it. Don't.
If you want to know why, go watch his channel.
It's fun.
Well, okay, so the 7/8 fits the nut, but not the bolt head.
So is the bolt head
Smaller.
So it's 13.
The head is smaller.
16s?
Do I not have a speed wrench in this size? Ow! You think we make shit up for our channel?
I don't condone this,
All right, get on the
but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, jeez, it's going. Let me get my hands on it.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah, take it down.
Why I even went through with it?
He's so scared.
That is tight.
I told you. It's like the threads are catching. First bolt of the job.
This is a great start. So what's he doing now?
The thing I'm sure everyone screamed at the camera already, or they're screaming, is just lift the differential.
Still doesn't want to move.
I think you. No, but the spring tension here, this is still curved, right? Or is it naturally curved when it's?
It's naturally. Look at your new springs, Jay.
Yeah, but these aren't those. These are multi.
They're the same. That's how they are. So obviously we're not going to sit underneath it when it comes down, but we'll loosen it. We'll put your jack here, right? And
Right.
once the top is loose, this will be loose and this bolt will freely slide.
I love the phone just reading the background.
Leave me alone, Dad!
Matt is just me, like 105%.
In what way? I saw that coming. Jake looks so ridiculous. Sam!
One of my wheel spacers on there.
Whoa!
You almost got it.
That's a little bit big piece of rust that almost fell in your eye right there.
The angle may be different, but either was clear, obviously clearing. See, the problem is you know what? When I've been working on my car,
There's no gas tank.
I have no gas tank.
I said it earlier. I was like, if my tank was emptier, I'd say let's just pull the tank, but it's 3/4 full.
It's not us. The forum said it's not us.
Yeah. It's not us, and it's a combination of them putting bolts that are too long in here. These are aftermarket. I think the bottom was already assembled. They shoved it up. Put
So the question is do you want me to get down there and max effort, or are you?
Have at it. I don't want to get
Really quick to decide that.
I've got to think of Phil. I have to provide for Phil.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the reason.
my 4 children.
We don't.
Oh, I got to move!
It's a starter weapon in
Is that
Half-Life.
jack actually touching the leaf? I'm eating 53-year-old dirt.
What if... Matt?
Drop
The lowest position?
It's just as he gets down.
My knees already hurt. You're making me waste knee bends. God, stop it! I saw you trying to do.
Oh, he's a loose.
What did I say?
Jay, you're so smart. Oh, the bolt pulls right out.
I understand suspensions.
Liar. Why is the bolt not want to come all the way out?
Because it's too fucking long. I saw that.
I feel like half this video is just eating dirt and rust.
The bolt is out. It's the shackle that's in the way. Stupid shackle!
Right.
Disconnected!
The first step is done.
Finally, the first bolt.
Technically, it was the second.
Second bolt.
So all along, the differential wouldn't come down far enough to allow it to pull the spring off tension. So it was always under tension the whole time.
Hey, you didn't disconnect the shock.
I knew that.
No, you didn't. Technically, that was step number 1.
Remove shock?
Yes.
I knew that. Ah, with my hand. Honey, I need speed wrenches that go bigger than the ones I have. It's coming down.
You're not mining for gold.
Shut up. When I played Warcraft, ow, I did blacksmithing and mining, okay? I know what I'm doing.
Now we
I know what I'm doing.
Ow!
It wasn't that hard.
That's what she said. You're gonna hit my paint.
No, I'm
You're gonna hit my Sharpie paint job. I feel like that was a pity high five.
It was. Because it was hurting my feelings watching you try to get that lower plate off.
That's strong.
What?
I think I bent my thumbnail back.
Oh.
Because it caught it and was like, I don't want to take the glove off. You know when you hurt yourself and you're wearing gloves and you just don't want to look
You
underneath?
don't want to know.
What did you do? Did you over torque it?
Yeah, and then it put my finger between the wrench and the pinch well. It went, and then it went, boom, 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 boom. Like jackhammer. So now my thumb on my right hand, my thumb on my left hand, and my ring finger on the right hand all hurt.
Stop being a baby, Jay.
The Jay.
My finger's going boom, boom.
Jay's Nick.
Boom, boom. Oh, shut up, Phil. That's not true.
That's what I say. Yours and his dynamic is like yours and Nick's dynamic.
No,
except
I
with
am
the
not
roles
Nick.
reversed.
You shut up.
Now you guys are married.
I opened the door for that one.
Your back door?
Take the rubber off, Jay.
That's how babies are made.
Oh, this rubber looks used.
Okay, get some bolts in there.
I gotta get the front line up first, remember?
Oh, you got some.
I gotta go back.
I don't even know what it's being held up by. My hand's holding it, but it's not moving. Aw, Jay, you're holding my hand.
Was I? Sorry.
Wait, really? Did you?
I was all like, I thought I was holding the spring. My hand's still numb.
Are you saying my hands are that strong?
What is that attached to?
The bar. This bar attaches to the bar that goes on the shackle. It's okay, Jay. Just tighten it up. Let's put this back up. Ah, it should have clearance.
Are we done? I buy that bird now.
Now you know.
It's like right in my eye and my mouth at the same time.
That's what she said.
That had an opposite effect.
It's so far off though. Like it's got to
No, but I got it. Oh, what do you call that, Jay?
It's not all the way. It's like forging a sword.
There you go.
There we go,
You should
okay.
be able to thread it.
Yeah, we got threads now.
Hallelujah. What is this, a spider? What kind of hair is that? What is this?
When Jay sheds.
When Jay sheds, is that what you...
Yeah, you know, in certain seasons.
Are you a Yeti?
Yeah.
Is that shocking?
I don't know. It seems like it's under a lot of tension. I believe in you guys that you'll spring back from this setback.
I hate you all.
Jay's about to apply the pressure.
It's okay. He can pump the brakes too.
This whole video is like totally ratchet.
He's literally walking away.
Okay, do me a favor. Hold that.
We're having a stroke.
Give me hammers.
This seemed way more easier on the internet.
Jay, I need your help.
Do me a favor. Just drop the car.
Hey, beautiful. It's your handsome husband. Just letting you know, running a lot later than planned.
So we started the other side because we thought the other side was done, but then we compared it to this side and realized we put the other side together wrong.
So you're gonna keep going on this side? And
Yeah,
then-
because this side's gonna prove that the way we think it was supposed to go, if it works on this side, then we'll do it on the other side. This is how you work on car. It's under a lot. Ow, got it. Oh, sacrificial. Oh.
How do I have glasses on and Russ is getting my eyes?
What is happening? The car is fighting back.
It's my gaming thumb, okay?
My theory is whoever built the rear end previously did it wrong, and then we're now suffering because of that, trying to figure out why. We think there's an issue in how we installed that side, but we're gonna get this side dialed in and it's already being 1,000 times easier, so.
We're done.
What'd we do?
We didn't put the new spring on.
You know, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say anything. 'Cause
I
didn't
did
want to sound
say,
stupid.
He did say this is a test fit.
I did say, let's see
Okay.
how well this fits.
Oh, you just kept going on autopilot.
We're like, hey, this is really easy.
Meanwhile, right here, right behind Jay.
Ow, the finger. Oh, fuck. Oh my god! Oh, that was your head!
Hey!
Ow!
Here, let it on the ground.
I see colors.
Let it on the ground. Let it on the ground.
I guess I can only see colors.
No, not that way.
Fuck, hold on. That way. Jackson. Oh.
Jay! Come on, you had to have known that was gonna happen the way you were swinging that.
Are you okay?
He just I did hold not go home. I hit the bridge of my nose.
I'm so glad I was zoomed in on that too.
I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, this is not a good angle to be hammering, and then he's just like, the spring to the head, the hammer to the nose, it's gonna be like the door to the knee, or
Oh, I'm
Oh. Have a chiropractor appointment tomorrow, yeah.
We can't chiropractor your face, James. Going smoother finally?
Well, it was just the issue of, so there's two pins. There's a pin on the spring that holds the spacer, and there's a pin on the top that has to go in, and we basically had to get it, it was like, I don't know, like just torqued a little bit so we get it to line up, and then it just went pancake together.
So, what we're noticing is that the mounting location on the other side, where the 4 outer holes, let's just use these for examples, similar. You can see how these holes are kind of an odd shape because it's kind of a universal fit for, you know, all the Novas and the Chevelles and the Impalas and everything else that use the same type of bracket for the bottom of the spring. The other side, we can get the 4 exterior holes and then the U-bolts come straight down and look nice. But on this side, no matter what, we cannot get the U-bolts to come down at a straight angle and mount to the 4 outer mounting points. We can get 2 outer mounting points and 2 inner mounting points because we think something's up with this perch. We think something's up with this perch that's keeping us from being able to mount it like that. Now, I don't think at the end of the day it truly matters if there's 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside. If the rear end is true and it's mounted and holding tight and nothing's all tweaked. But we think now that something might be potentially up with this differential because this one was like doing fairly the same thing with the U-bolt position. So they may have had all 4 corners mounted on the outside, but the U-bolts were still, instead of being perfectly horizontal, they were out on the top, coming in at an angle. And that's because that's what's the perch mount, like the channel that they're in, that's controlling that angle that they go at.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom hole, they're not holes anymore. They're giant, weird oval, oblong things.
So I'm thinking, and one of the things that we ordered today, I think I already said, is the new gears, the new pinion set, rebuild kit, the pause traction unit. We ordered all that stuff. I'm thinking now, like we might throw it all in here in the meantime, but I'm thinking I need to start shopping for a new 12-bolt housing. I don't know if they're all created equal, so I have to ask Mike, but if I can get a new 12 bolt housing, get it all cleaned up off the car, and then we swap it all over. And if I can get one of those before the weekend, then we'll just have them build it off the car and then swap it. But yeah, we're just gonna put it together now so that it's drivable with it being all funky. And just...
Well, we're gonna make it how it was.
It's not gonna be any worse than it was when we pull it in here. It's just gonna sit an inch lower and have Caltrax traction bars on it. So. Okay, it's several days later. The car is on the ground, as you can see, and I've driven it since. I want to talk a little bit about what we struggled with in that video, and I don't mean our own stupidity, like me dropping a leaf spring on my head and hitting myself in the face with a hammer, and I still have a mark from it. Yeah, I know it really looked like we were monkeys fucking a football, and it kind of felt that way, because one of the things I said in that, I can't remember if I said it, but I did say I ordered U-bolts, and they came. And I then compared them to the U-bolts that are in the car. They're not the same. So that tells me clearly one set was wrong. Either the ones in the car or the ones sent to me. I then went and did all of the investigation on the proper size of the U-bolt. And if you're not sure about the way U-bolts are measured, there is, and the garters just came across the street, so you're gonna hear weed whackers and stuff. This is as real as it gets, guys. So when it comes to U-bolts measuring it, there's two diameters. An inner diameter of the bend, so you measure in between the bolt, and then the outer diameter, which is the outside of the bolt. That measurement also will tell you the actual thickness of the bolt itself. The inner diameter of the new U-bolts matches the inner diameter of the U-bolts that are currently in the car. However, the U-bolts that are in the car are thicker, so the outer diameter is wider than the new ones. You know, we can't get away from this shit, dude. At the studio, the second I hit record, these guys have never mowed the lawn on a Tuesday or Wednesday at this time.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, what that means is that the bolts that were used when they put the Hotchkiss suspension in, I don't know if the U-bolts that came with it are wrong, but it explains why they had to modify those plates too. Remember, we saw they elongated and opened up those holes on the plates. They're right here. You can see clearly those holes were messed with. So they probably did the same thing that we did. Rather than, oh man, we gotta wait for the right bolts. No, we'll make this one work. The problem is I opened up the holes a little bit on the actual perch mount to make these fit through. That's okay though. We're gonna be cutting off these perch mounts and welding new ones on anyway when we refresh the rear end housing when we paint the car. So anyway, next weekend, we're gonna actually be doing a differential swap. We're gonna be putting in a new posi unit, new 390 gears, rebuild and all that. We'll be following it. And right now, I'm ending this video and we're starting a new one about me replacing the front grille, which is all broken on here. Isn't it funny how new and old sitting next to each other? Anyway, once you get them side by side, you can really tell where design cues came from the old car. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Not that anyone cares, but I am okay. The leaf spring did leave a little bit of a mark and a bump on my head. But let's face it, I didn't hurt anything, did I? Oh!